I'm embarrassed. So, well, it's got to do with the puppet show, so why not?
教えてよ。誰にも言わないから。
No, I'm going to go draw some water.
残念。エトの欲しいものが聞けなかったな。私、本当にサンタクロースになれるかしら。お父さんやおじいさんのような立派なサンタクロースに。ほら、弟くん。
Sorry.
まったく、集中できてないよ。
Sorry, I got a cold. She said that, but we'd been rehearsing for almost 2 hours. Since the script wasn't finished, we kept repeating the same scenes over and over. There's no way I can concentrate anymore. We'll finish here for today. Otone groaned disappointedly. I already memorized my lines, so did you, right?
もう台本見なくても完璧だよ。
Then we don't need to practice anymore until the rest of the script is finished. I closed the script.
続きか。この後、どんな風になるのかな。
Well, this route will finally find out how it goes. Otone tilted her head as she flipped through the pages. I don't know, Anzu seems to be still struggling.
気になるよ。シャルルとエトの関係とか、シャルルがちゃんとサンタさんになれるのかとか。
Otone talked as if she was talking about a TV show's cliffhanger for the following week. Anzu's amazing if she can draw Otone this far into the story. I was actually curious about the rest of the story myself when it was... Interruption, and it was on the minds of everyone in my class. Well, we'll look forward to it until the script is finished.
そうだね。いろいろ想像するのも楽しいし。
No random thing about the story that as I say, I'm writing but haven't got to work on in a long time. I've already got the ending in my mind. I've got plenty of scenes in my mind, but when it comes to writing, it's just like, oh, I can't be arsed. It's like, when I started writing it, I didn't even have an antagonist in mind, really. It just came to mind at some point while I was just thinking, just like, oh, that's a good idea for an antagonist, actually. And I came up with an antagonist that's very, has a kind of Lovecraftian kind of feel to it. Not like tentacles, blah, 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 kind of thing, but the kind of thing where just like, is legitimately fucking creepy. You got a shadow. No physical form. It can control shadows all around it. And once the shadows come onto you, you'll feel an unusual sensation that's rough, slimy, and just indescribably weird. And if it wanted to, it'd be like, pfft, and you will start to bleed from your arm if it's on your arm like that. That's legitimately creepy when you really think about it. A being that you can't see because it's just a shadow. Well, you can see it, but you don't know where its original spot is. Like, it's got one weak spot and only one weakness. It's a bit like Superman in a way. It's like, only has one specific weakness. So imagine a creature like that. And it can shapeshift as well. That's pretty freaking terrifying.
でも、最後はやっぱりハッピーエンドがいいよね。
But yeah.
シャルルとエトがくっついて、幸せになって。
Completely different story, isn't it? I'm just rambling on as I usually do about a story that's very different to the play that they're talking about. But yeah, I've had the ending for that story in mind for quite some time, but it's quite a ways off. Like, what I want to do is turn it into a visual novel, but like, I look at it and I'm just like, it's gonna be a fairly lengthy one, really. I mean, I've like still only like I've established most of the cast. I've only just recently, when I last did any writing for it, introduced the antagonist, only it was kind of brief. And it's just like, there's so much I could write to it. I mean, it's just like, it's all comes down to motivation, really. If I can be asked to write it, it's just like, I can never sit down and just like write it. When I do, I'm usually like, oh, not bad, not bad. But then once I'm like done with writing after about an hour or so, I'm just like, okay. And then I stop writing there, and then it takes me months usually until I'm just like, okay, let's write more to that. So in a way, if I were to like say write a manga or something like that, it'd be probably like the that author of I think Berserk, who what I hear of takes ridiculously long breaks and things like that. That'd totally be me. It's like, I'll write when I feel like it. But that's been months now. I know, but I can't be asked. But don't you think that's too cliche?
それでもいいんだよ。ご都合的でも。やっぱり最後はハッピーエンドがいいよ。
She looked at me directly, with such serious eyes. I guess it's true that a joyous conclusion is better than a bitter ending.
絶対そうだよ。
It's like when people say, we don't want those happy endings, we want a realistic ending, a realistic sad ending. It's like, why? It's just like, if you want a realistic sad story, look at the news. That's tragedy right there. It's like, yeah, but we like our stories that have tragic endings as well. Why? Because, we're kind of, masochistic in that kind of way. We kind of like, I don't know. I think sad endings are alright, but just, I prefer happy endings nonetheless anyway. She smiled.
さてと、それじゃあ晩ご飯の用意をしよっか。ゆめちゃん呼んできて。
That is provided the protagonist is a decent person anyway. Like, you'll get happy endings for the douchiest of characters and just like, that's a crappy ending. Why didn't he get his ass kicked, this stupid smug bastard? I'm looking at you, what was it called again? Mirai, here, something like that. I think it was called, what was it? Dream Diary, Dream Journal, something like that. Oh, I hated the protagonist in that one. All the other characters, I was rooting for them, just like, yeah, get him! Ah, shit, he's got Yandere on his side. There's no way anyone's gonna kick his ass. Shit. Okay. I stood up and stretched. Watanabe put her apron on and went to the kitchen. Another happy day at Yoshino household. Why has that one not been... That was odd. Why that? Oh! What of this? Sakura-san pointed at a house as she turned around and smiled. So this is obviously must have been when they first met or something, because she seems to be introducing him to the house, so this must have been when he moved in. It still doesn't explain where he came from before all that. Was he an orphan or what? Sakura-san pointed at a house and she turned around and smiled. This is...
僕のお兄ちゃんの家なんだけどね。みんないい人だよ。
When Sakura-san rang the doorbell, I heard footsteps from inside the house. Wait, could it be? The door unlocked with a click. Oh no, it isn't. A pair of curious eyes stared at me through the slightly ajar door. I thought they were gonna finally show... Oh, what is his name again? Junichi or something like that? Just like finally show me, just like, finally, it's a person who we've not seen in this whole thing. Oh, it's just you, Yume. It's like, what do you mean? Do you want me to glare at you again? Oh, she really is. She's glaring! We can't see it, but she totally is. I'm taking this as quite a number of years before the current plot. Sakura-san? When I looked up at Sakura-san in fear, she was smiling at me. Looking up? Man, you must have been really short then. How old were you at this point? With her eyes locked on me, the girl greeted Sakura-san. Sakura-san talked to the other side of the door. With a small breath, another face popped into the door's opening. Two girls came out. The younger one came out bashfully and the older one came out sullenly. They stood in front of me. What do I do? I looked up to Sakura-san, and with a mischievous smile, Sakura-san said,
僕もお兄ちゃんに話があるから、あとは適当にやってね。ちゃんと仲良くするんだよ。
She went inside. I was left alone. The two girls stared at me, one of them glaring. What do I do? Should I start by introducing myself? I'm Sakurai Yoshiyuki. Nice to meet you. I bowed and held out my right hand. But not all of them touched it. It stayed in the air by itself. I guess this didn't go well. When I tried to retract it, I felt something warm embrace my right hand. Huh?
夢。
Huh?
朝倉夢。
The girl said with a smile. Is that your name?
うん。
I see your name is Yume.
そう。よろしくね。
Oh?
お兄ちゃん。
She said with blushed cheeks. I was a little embarrassed to be called that.
乙女。
She spoke. When I looked at her, the girl had already turned around, and she went inside the house. Man, she was way different back then. She was trying to avoid me. Am I bothering you?
そんなことないよ。
But
お姉ちゃん最近怒ってばっかりだから気にしなくていいと思うよ。おじいちゃんもお母さんも大歓迎って言ってたもん。私も嫌じゃないし、お兄ちゃんがお兄ちゃんになるの。
she bashfully held my hand even tighter. Yeah, thank you.
それよりも早く中に入ろう。
Too
風
late!
邪ひいちゃうよ。
Already have. Yume pulled me into the house. I felt warm air and smelled something good. Excuse me.
違うよ。
Huh?
ただいま。
Hmm?
だからただいまだよ。
Tadaima.
今日からお兄ちゃんのお家だもん。
Trying to teach me Japanese again, I see.
だからただい
On this day I was welcomed into the Asakura family with that warm smile. Should be interesting to see how that develops over time, I suppose. Today we do the opposite. We wake up early. It's damn cold. It was your ordinary waking up. When I looked at the clock, it was 2 minutes before the alarm was set to go off. I don't remember any dreams. I turned the alarm off, changed, and went downstairs. I peeked into the living room, but it looked like Sakura-san wasn't up yet. I fixed breakfast for Sakura-san and myself and ate it alone. I had some extra time, so I made eggs sunny side up and sauteed vegetables. This is impressive. Okay, I'm leaving. You should get up soon, Sakura-san. I yelled at the front door and heard a weak response.
大丈夫。起きても。
Okay, see you.
いってらっ
And then, you're like, did you fall out of bed again, Sakura-san? I left the house, but Yume didn't appear to be leaving theirs. I wondered if they were still getting ready. I could have waited, but since I didn't know how long I had to wait, I went ahead and left for school. I got to school early, so there were only a few students around. You know they're going to be pissed at you, probably, because they usually wait for you, and they'll be like, what's taking him so long? Check the house, just like he's not there. That son of a bitch went ahead before us. I hadn't seen any familiar faces yet. Was I going to be the first one to reach our classroom? Oh, there's nobody. As I expected, there wasn't anybody in the classroom except for Anzu. Anzu was alone with her face on her desk. Hey, Anzu, you asleep? I tapped her shoulder. She was sleeping. There was a half-filled notebook on her desk. It was the script for the puppet show. Did she spend the whole night there or what? Did she spend the whole night here? Didn't her parents worry about her? Are you awake? It's morning. I thought I was the first one to arrive, and then I found you sleeping here. Surprised me. Good morning. You'll catch cold if you sleep here. All this talk of colds, man. And me, I have a cold. It's just like, you don't even need to mention it. You'll occasionally hear me go, because my nose is still like there. It's weird, really. Like when I woke up, didn't feel any like symptoms of a cold or anything like that. And suddenly, once I was about to record, my nose was just like, it's like, oh come on, really? Did you? I see. Anzu shivered. Sure. Anzu left the classroom still looking half asleep. But seriously, don't her parents worry about her? Bow bow bow. Bow 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 bow. Bow bow bow. Bow bow bow. Beetle eyes. Do do do. Do 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 do. This is a long conversation. Yes, it is a long conversation. Yes, it is. Come on, you dragging on bastards. Oh, I could have skipped the whole thing then, just like, instead of manually. So, obviously, classroom. Anzu let out a huge yawn as soon as lunch break began. Come to think of it, she looked sleepy all morning. Oh, I wonder why. Yeah, I guess so. No, I just imagine it's like, well, if you're unable to walk, instead of like give her a piggyback or anything like that, you just like grab her to the side like a briefcase and just start walking towards the cafeteria. Like, what are you doing? You carry me like you're just like a plank of wood or something. You just like for construction, just like bring this over here, just like lunge it onto the seat here. Woo! Coco and Akane left. Anzu was half asleep as she watched the other girls leave. Anzu, aren't you gonna eat? She didn't go home last night because she was writing the script, so I knew she doesn't have lunch with her. But you didn't eat breakfast either, right? You have to eat something. Oh boy. When people get deeply absorbed into something, they stop caring about anything else, but this was serious. Well, it could be worse. It'd be like, oh, she spent 2 entire days at school and hasn't eaten a single thing. Okay, I'll get you something to eat at the store, so just wait. That was easy. I see. Then Anzu dozed off. I guess I'll go. It's damn cold. I bought enough bread for 2 at the store and hurried back to the classroom. Here, Anzu, I got it. Wake up. I shook Anzu's shoulder. Anzu frowned, but her eyes stayed closed. Come on, it's not morning. Wake up. Wait, what? Yeah, it's not morning. Wake up. I got you some bread, and I know you're hungry. Then eat. I held out some bread to Anzu. It's always bread. She took the bread, but she was still dozing off. So I tore a bite-sized chunk off the bread. Here, Anzu, open your mouth. Ah. She opened her mouth as told, so I put the piece of bread into her mouth. I felt like a mother bird. Here, another one. Eat. Anzu ate about half the bread and then fell asleep. Since we still had afternoon classes, I decided to just let her sleep. Anzu waved a stack of papers at us with a blank expression on her face. Well, that was sudden. Just a second ago, she was like sleepy, and now suddenly she's awake. Finished it. I guess that means the script's done. Everyone applauded. I don't hear any applause. Anzu passed out the script to members of the cast, lighting and sound crews. And of course to me too. Good work. Anzu nodded with blushed cheeks. The class president stood at the podium with the script.
それじゃあ、出演者は一旦通しで読み合わせね。雪村さん、人形の方はどうなってるのかしら。茜、報告お願い。
On Anzu's cue, Akane and the rest of the puppet team stood up.
はい、まだ全部完成はしてませんが、一応主役級のものは仮で出来上がってます。じゃあ、それも含めて合わせてみましょう。その他の人は手伝ったりして。
Everyone put the desks in the corners and started to work. The cast got together in front of the podium for a discussion.
Coco, 曲は？
Coco let everyone listen to music she edited at home. The set crew and the art crew listened too. But Tara and Suganami praised her music. The class president looked satisfied too. Akane and Anzu were getting emotional. Everyone liked it. I was so worried a couple days ago, but now things were starting to look up. I'm glad.
それじゃあ、合わせてみる？
Everyone nodded in response to class president's suggestion. I practiced working my puppet as I read through the script. I was still awkward with it, but I had to get used to it by the performance.
次、吉行のセリフだよ。
Sorry. Anyway, I only have a little time before the performance. I'll do my best. Interruption, I have food, but I think we shall conclude this recording anyway. And what is with Anzu when she does that is like, hey, mischievous. While Cook on the other hand is like, shy, blush, and Otome is like, hair flick. Well anyways, I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.